5 points, ladies and gentlemen. 5 points, Christian. That is what is separating the top 5 players in RMFantasySX right now. Could it be any closer?
It could, but not,
5 points?
That's pretty dang close.
That is incredible. Look at this leaderboard. Is McDougie up there still?
McDougie's back to 6th.
Dougie in 6th place. But look, 5 points, the top 50.
Trick Machine sent us a video of him watching it.
I know.
Dude's
and
killing it.
The top 50 are separated by just over 50 points. We've got a double points round coming up, and we still haven't dropped the lowest scores. Pressure's on. If you're in 50th place right now or even 100th place, you could mathematically still win a grand prize.
All I know is after the double points round, things look a lot different. I don't want to jinx anybody or anything, but they got to have a lot of stress going into these last few rounds.
Would you rather be in first place right now going into these last 2 rounds or somewhere in just that top 10?
Probably first. Why not? Give me as much points as I can, but typically if you're in first place, you're going to lose a lot of points because of the drop points thing.
Well, look at this. Let's see here. William Schumann says, what does he get for 11,645th place?
Depending on what group you're in.
Yeah, maybe you're in a group that has some prizes. Anyway, so you're saying there's a chance. Absolutely. It's pretty close. I'm stoked for it. It's going to be crazy coming down to the wire. We've got 2 points battles that are close. We got the 250 East on tomorrow.
Hold on. What do we have?
What?
Yeah, I got to do some stats now. The guy's got 857 points divided by 15 rounds. I just want to show everybody.
Oh, like
this guy's averaging 57 points a round, which is like 2 picks right and some friendlies.
And, yeah, a couple really good rounds.
So he's most likely, I haven't checked his points or anything, he's probably had 1 or 2 big weeks that really boosted him up. Like 4 to 5 picks right.
It's going to be good. Well, look, as you all know, we give away some amazing grand prizes at the end of the year. That's what's up for grabs. We're going to talk about those here in just a little bit. But first, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about race recap. Let's talk about our results from Atlanta 3, and then we'll show you some of our favorite highlights because we've got a lot to talk about with a man named Cameron McAdoo, who...
Look at Kobe trying to stir it.
Oh, come on. McAdoo, if you guys didn't know, is calling into the show tonight.
That's cool, dude.
That is cool. He's going to be calling in. He's going to give us his thoughts on the night, and we're going to ask him some questions. So, all right, let's jump into it. Musquin for the wild card, Travis. Don't know yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, let's talk about results. Cooper Webb sticking it to Ken Roczen again. So went Webb, Roczen, Tomac, Plessinger, Barcia, wild card 13th. A lot of people have a bone to pick with the AMA, including our man behind the camera, Josh.
Yeah.
And probably you. I got the wild card correct because
I have a bone to pick with everything.
Of the whole Anderson thing, so I got it correct. All right, Josh, can we throw up the lap chart, please? All right, look at this.
Chaos, dude. First 3 or 4 laps.
It was a lot. But look at that. Kenny had the lead all the way up to the end, and then Coop took it from him from just a couple laps to go.
Got a lot of good memes out of that late pass.
And, man, Plessinger was on track to have his season best finish and then kind of drop back to 4th. But Tomac rode good. Barcia rode good. And here's what's crazy, man, is I know there's people giving a lot of crap to Tomac, but I don't think he's going any slower or any faster than last year. I think these guys have just stepped it up. I think they're just that good.
I think I threw some stats in there about that. When we get to him, we can check.
All right. Let's see here. Let's talk about some highlights. Let's talk about McAdoo right now. So first of all, we've already seen the crashes from Atlanta 2. Now let's fast forward to Atlanta 3.
Poor dude, man.
Oh my gosh, his practice crash from practice day. So bad.
Well, I didn't see it live, but once I heard he had a nasty crash, what was the first thing you said in your mind?
He's out.
I hope he's okay.
Mine was like, please no. Like, he can't do it again, please.
And I'm going to ask him which crash he thought was worse and which one hurt the most initially, because you can't have 2 crashes that bad. That is insane. And then a lot of controversy about him right here, pushing Hunter Lawrence a little bit wide over this roller. If you ask me, he's in the middle of the roller. He's going to the race line. He didn't know Hunter was there. I'm going to say that he's got a free pass on that one. Not saying it. What do you think? You guys watching, what do you think? Comment below. Look at that. He's in the middle of the roller, and people are saying, oh, he pushed Hunter way off wide and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, he did not.
Well, hindsight, yeah. Just as I was watching the race live, you're just like, oh, my gosh, anyone near him's kind of having an issue, but I don't think that was his fault either. No.
Yeah, and then there was another time where he went down in the whoops, do we have go goes down to the whoops right here, but that's because the two guys in front of him held him up and he ran to the back of him. There was nothing that he could do there.
No.
And then he also had the red flag in the race with Chris Bloss. So McAdoo was just kind of the center of it all this last weekend. And we'll talk to McAdoo about this, but there's people saying like, oh, he's a hazard. He shouldn't be on the racetrack, including.
Not because of him. Maybe because he was just wounded.
Saying that he shouldn't be out there because of his injuries. He's not physically capable or even possibly mentally.
Just limited.
Yeah. Even Honda came out and kind of threw him under the bus a little bit. So we're going to ask McAdoo about that, kind of get his thoughts on it.
I am glad Chris Bloss is okay. That did not look good.
I don't know. Brian B. says he should not have raced. Yeah, I saw the AJ interview, but look.
He made a lot of fans. I don't care what anybody says.
What? McAdoo?
He
did.
The guy's crashing left and right. Look, you can't hold him down.
You can't tell me right now that if there is a PC rider or a Star Racing Yamaha guy in the same boat as McAdoo where, yeah, you're beat up, but you're in a very close race for the championship, you can't tell me right now that they would not line up and do the exact same thing.
It's kind of a lose-lose if you look at it that way, too, because if he wouldn't have raced, people would have said, oh, he should have been out there.
And look, and if the AMA and the doctors are clearing you to race – But I think it's go race. You know?
All I know is after the tunnel crash and coming back and podium, it's impossible to not be a fan of that guy.
Yeah, and it's also that the rider does need to use good discretion and the team. If he doesn't feel like he can be safe on the track, then you shouldn't race.
Well, they have Alpine Stars medical crews and
they're
precautions for a reason.
I mean, I can see it from both sides, but I'm going to side on the fact that he had every right to be there. I don't think he was a hazard on the track, and yeah. Okay, let's get into it. 450s. We'll talk about it later. Let's talk about 450s. First thing I got to point out here, did you see Malcolm Stewart's pass in the whoop section in the heat race?
Yeah, I think Todd Harris was screaming.
Look at this.
Dude.
2 for 1.
I guarantee you Tomac is just like, what just freaking happened?
Yeah, that don't happen every day.
They were both about 3 or 4 whoops in before Mookie even started going through those. That probably was
That's amazing.
One of the most impressive things I've seen in a whoop section all year long.
Well, everybody been having a hard time through that, and he just handled them. Manhandled.
Well, let's talk about some of this drama here because Jason Anderson, he cut the track because he crashed right here. Ferrandis runs in the back of him. He gets up, and he cuts this little section right here. Josh, rewind it. And pause it right there.
Well, look at what he's doing.
Look at that line. He got docked, 4 positions for that?
3 or 4, yeah.
All right. Stop it right here. Where's Justin Barcia right now?
So he's right there in the red.
He's right there behind him.
Yeah, this is where things – if you had Davalos for your wild card,
which
you might be a little bit – yeah, I did too. You might be a little upset about this. Watch Barcia right here.
Where does he go? Interesting line choice.
Anderson took the exact same line.
And Anderson follows him, right? The same exact line, even slower than Barcia went through.
Does Barcia get docked? No, he does not.
I had not noticed that until Prouse pointed that out.
And Anderson got docked 4 positions. And I honestly – look, I got to say, if Anderson doesn't tell the AMA to do certain things and tell him they suck, he probably doesn't get docked 4 positions there. But they have their eyeball on him, so – but I will say thank you, Anderson, because I got the wild card because you cut the track. Oh, gosh.
Cost me major points. It shook the leaderboard up. Man.
Right? Matthew Paul says, oh, wow. See? There you go.
I didn't see that when it happened live.
But Anderson gained positions.
I've seen people crash and cut the track. There's no one even around them, and they still docked them.
You still can't. You still got to get back on the track at the first safe location, which they both could have done. And Barcia clearly was hauling butt on the gas.
I have seen people crash with no one around them, get back on the bike, cut the track with no one around them, and they still docked them.
Just saying, I'm not siding with one or the other. I'm just saying I got the wild card. All right, let's talk about Roczen. Roczen goes down in the whoops.
A heavy vibe.
Roczen goes down in the whoops, and then after that, it's not even a bad thing. He steps off the bike. It's like, hey, you're good. He'd been blitzing the whoops incredibly well all night long.
12-second lead at that point?
Yeah, about 12 seconds. And then from that point forward, what does he do? He starts to jump the whoops because he's afraid of what might happen. And look, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert and say what Kenny should have done.
No.
But it's like, man, you're one of the best whoop skimmers in the game. And you had one little mishap there, and then you jumped the whoops after that. And I personally think that jumping the whoops, he lost a lot of time there. That's what cost him the race.
I think a lot went into it because most riders wouldn't have been pressuring the entire time like Webb did when he was 12 seconds behind. You know what I'm saying? He was still trying to reel him in.
How many of you guys all think there?
And then what is Roczen doing that wide?
Well, he wanted to go wide and cut down. I get it, but Webb's too smart for that. He knows what you're trying to do. Webb's, I think, one of the smartest racers.
This one, I mean, like you said, I'm not claiming to be an expert. This one blew my mind.
Easy, Joey.
Why are you going that wide?
Oh, I don't know. But what do you guys think? Comment below. If Kenny had continued to skim the whoops after he went down, does he win that main event? My opinion, I say yes. See, Brian B. agrees with me.
I'm just saying, Kenny kind of, he probably wishes he could go back. And Webb, he never gives up. You got to know he's not going to give up.
It's true. Matthew says he had bent bars. Yeah, I don't know how bent they were. Like I said, I'm not pretending to know everything just from what we were seeing there. All right. Of course he does, says John. Yes, Rock wins, says Bill. So look at that. Skim the whoops. According to all the bench racers, including us. Gosh, we'd be so good if we raced Supercross.
And it was really tough for the 50% that had Ken Roczen for the win.
Yeah, it's true. I had Kenny for the win. And I was like, oh, I at least got first right.
I had Sexton for the win, so let's move on.
Oh, gosh. All right, well, let's talk about some player stats and points. Roczen obviously probably let a lot of people down. The average score was down a little bit, 43%, or 43 points, excuse me.
It was looking good for me until that penalty.
We did have two perfect scores, so that's the first time since first time we've had two perfect scores since round 7 in 2018. That's not true.
Yeah, only two perfect
scores. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's really rare to only have two. That was weird.
Yeah, that's not very many. Interesting. Let's see. 27% got 2 picks right. Only 1.42% had the top 5 picks correct, but not in the right position. So, yeah, it was a tough night of points. What do you think, though? This week, would you have guessed this? That last round, Chase Sexton was picked somewhere in the top 5 by 81.6% of players.
My dinosaur computer's struggling. But how did the wild card? How did that penalty affect the wild cards? The question.
I don't know. Do you have a stat on that? Let's see here. Even with hold on.
27% had Tickle, 17% had Davalos.
Oh, see,
so it was in favor for more people than it wasn't.
Good, and I was one of those people. That's all right though. Plessinger was only in 10% of players' top 5 picks. Plessinger, he had some steam, and then kind of people lost a little faith, but. Probably might want to, I probably want to pick that back up for these last 2 rounds in Salt Lake City. I want to hear from the winners or the people in the top 5 and kind of what is their plan coming up right now. Are you going to?
What's your strategy?
Yeah, what is your strategy? Oh, Barcia, you only got him right, Mick. That is a bummer. Penalty cost Bill. Well, you know what? Let's give you some fun facts to help cheer up your day then. Webb, Roczen, Tomac have won every round since Barcia won round 1.
Yeah.
Really?
You think that somebody else had won in the middle of that, but no.
Every year we say this in the first episode. We say, there's so many people can win.
Yeah.
No. Wait, it's proven. You're never probably going to get more than 5 or 6. When was the last time we had 6 winners in a season? 5 is a lot.
Doesn't happen very often.
Oh, man, it's crazy. So that's kind of cool. And then if you made picks for every round up to this point, your lowest score will be dropped after round 16.
Yeah, remember that.
All right.
Don't be that guy or girl emailing us mad because your points are wrong. We'll just tell you your lowest score dropped.
Ooh, Plessinger going to KTM.
Interesting.
Have you heard anything about that? I haven't. I've heard rumors, but nothing's confirmed. All right. Joe, I know that's what you meant. I know you're not tight and you're fighting. All right. Well, look, track trends. All right. Let's pull up the track map, please, Mr. Joshua Prouse. Here it is. What I like to see, longer start straight. You've got a left-hand 180 turn. I think this type of straight is going to be maybe a little bit more fair for everybody. What I like to see, though, is look how long those rhythm sections are. I wish there was a 180 turn after it.
Are you sad or glad, though, that we're out of Atlanta-style tracks?
I don't know, man. After 3 of them in a row, it's nice to mix it up. You can't do all of them like that, but it's cool to have that break, right?
No,
break
but
up some of the
really
monotony.
Did like all those rounds.
It was really cool.
Those are good rounds.
Let's see here. So long start straight, which is good. Good rhythm sections there. You got the whoops. Nothing spectacular. And look, it's not.
Well, they use the start straight twice after the start, which I think is cool. I like when they go back into the start straight. I hate when they take like a huge section of the track for the start and then they never use it again. Well, so I do like that.
Fart Vader says he doesn't want to complain, but yeah, it's basic. Man, all stadium tracks nowadays with these 450s.
Yeah. After Atlanta, when I saw that, I was kind of bummed.
I wanted to go back to like 1980s Supercross or early 90s when you just had hay bales and the tracks were so different then.
Strokes out there, but
all right. Well, look, good size start show. We got that. Is there anything else we need to talk about? The weather's looking good. It's not going to be a mutter. It's looking good for next weekend too.
Just the things are not really well. They'll probably will mention is elevation. Jason Anderson claims it affects him a lot, and it probably does, but he gets good results.
That dude almost won last year.
Yeah, he does good. If he wouldn't have lost his seat. Remember that one.
Well, that's true. He lost his seat, and then Osborne won because of that. Well, let's talk about injuries. We got Adam. Oh, we got a pull-up already. Does Webb lock it down? Are we doing that, Josh?
Yep.
Okay. This track, it's a tighter track. It's a smaller stadium. Everyone says that, we've been hearing how the tighter tracks are more, favorable for Webb because he can cut down so well.
Well, and he gets good starts.
Does Webb lock it down tomorrow? Because here's the deal. If Webb wins, and I think Roczen gets 6th or 7th or worse, Cooper Webb wins the title.
Yeah, he's 16 points up right now.
So if he wins and Kenny's outside, I believe, top 6, Cooper Webb is your champion. Yeah, Does he wrap it up?
If he gains 7 points on Roczen this round,
it's
over.
Anything can happen. We saw Jason Anderson when he had the points lead. What did he do? Blows up his rear wheel on the start straight and has to pull off. Yeah. So we've seen crazy things happen.
Wilson pulls off after him, willing to give him his rear wheel. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. What a teammate.
Yep.
All right, so keep this poll going, and while we're doing that, we're going to talk about some of our top contenders, so what people are thinking about on picks, and then we're going to have McAdoo calling in here in about 10 minutes or so do not miss out on that. All right, look at this. We already talked about point standings. Cooper right now, he's up by 16 points. Tomac, he's out of this. He's down by 41.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's going to take something big for him to get back in there. So.
Okay. It's going to take something big. Oh, okay. Roczen was 24th behind Tomac going to the last 2 rounds last season. You remember how they were, were they tied?
They were
going into the last 7
really
rounds.
Close, yeah. When they
Roczen had his meltdown. But hey, I'm just pumped to see that Roczen has held it together this late because I know a lot of people thought that, his health or he wouldn't be able to last. Yeah. But we'll see what happens in Salt Lake.
A lot of people will hate on him because he's not closer. But, dude, being through what he's been through in his career, it's amazing he's even that high up, honestly. Like I've said before, most riders would have been retired. So the dude's a beast. You can't take anything away from him.
Yeah. Paul Lawrence, come on. Telling me Tomac sucks. Freak. Get out of here with that. All right.
I got no time for that.
Stats on stats on stats. Look at this. 2019 average finish. Who are we talking about here? We're talking about...
We're looking just on who wins the championship, their stats. Like, what do you need to do? What's a formula to win a championship?
Okay.
And we look at, like, this year and the last 2 years, the rider that's won the championship, assuming Webb wins, their averages have been between the finish, 2.57 and 2.83. So you just have to average about there.
Yeah.
Starts, 4.3 to 7.5, of course, when Tomac did it. He's the only rider that could do that, I feel like.
Oh, of course he had the worst starting average.
And look at your laps led. It's right around 100 from 98 to 128. And the last 3 years up to this point, unless Webb wins another one, they've all won 7 rounds. So.
Yeah. You know what's crazy to me is you look at those averages, which are cool. Tomac's average qualifying in 2020 was 1.82.
That's insane.
We need to see what it is this year. Can you pull that up?
I can pull it up.
Because I bet you it's not even close to that. I'll bet you he's outside the top 3. So it's just been a different – and look, Tomac led 98 laps last year, which, I mean, gosh, that's insane. So look at this. Eli Tomac right here. Here is his last starting averages, and his best year was 2017, if you believe it. He hasn't gotten any better. He's only gotten basically stayed around the same, gotten a little bit worse all those other years. Has a 5th best average start this season and 3rd best average finish, which I guess he is 3rd in the points, so it makes sense.
And his average qualifying this year is 3.5.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if you average a little better than 3rd all season, start around 4th, you should be in it to win.
Yeah.
So, but if you looked at those numbers too, you wouldn't know that 2020 is the year he won. I mean, he has his worst starting average that year, and he still won.
But last year we saw that Tomac where, if you didn't get the start, you could charge through. But this year, I think with just other riders like Barcia clearly stepping it up and being better, with Chase Sexton and just some of these other guys, Malcolm Stewart's riding better. Yep. It's just harder.
Well, that was my motivation and kind of looking this stuff up. Like, is he doing worse or is everyone else doing better? Like, with the same stats from last year, would he have won this year? And
oh, heck no.
Honestly, riders are getting better.
That's
what it is.
No, I know it is.
So, and he won 7 rounds last season. I mean, how many does he have this season? 1,
3,
2, 3 wins.
3 wins.
Not even half.
No, not even close to what he's been in the past.
So,
all right, so let's get into it here. Let's talk about Cooper Webb. Who has this guy? Oh, Josh, how'd that poll go? Real quickly before we dive into Webb.
Do they think he's going to lock it down?
No.
I don't think so.
More votes for no. You don't think he's going to? Okay.
Well, by my sign here, I think he just, if I was him, I'd stay in 3rd, 4th range, ride that baby home.
Well, look,
that's what I'd do.
You think Webb doesn't win in Salt Lake City. I will disagree only for one reason. Because if Kenny gets a good start, Webb, in tomorrow's race, if Webb's going to win in Salt Lake, it's going to be tomorrow. Because if Kenny gets out in front, Webb does not want to diminish his points lead for the last round. He wants to add to it.
Your team manager, what are you telling him?
Beat
heading
Ken
into
Roczen.
These 2 rounds. Beat him no matter what.
This round. Tomorrow, you've got to at least maintain or add to your points lead.
If you're in 3rd, he's in 2nd, push to pass him. You're saying that.
Yeah. I don't
I wouldn't say that.
I don't want to go into a final round with a 14-point lead.
He's up by 16.
I know, but dude, think about it. If you're 14 points down going to the last round, that's Kenny winning and Webb having to get like 5th or 6th or better or something.
I'm just saying, when do the mistakes happen? When you're trying to push it. You're late in the race. You're 1-2 spots behind Roczen. I'm saying just cruise that thing in. Keep it as safe as possible for the last round, where a 7th or 8th is all you need.
I'm saying increase that buffer. What do you guys think? Does Webb push to beat Kenny this weekend? If Webb finishes 1 spot behind him, is he okay with that, or does he really push for it?
What does the team
Boyer
manager
says go for the win.
Him? I'm saying play it safe.
I'm saying treat this race no different and go out there and try and win.
I don't want to bring it up.
John.
I don't want to bring it up, but I will. What? Remember AC in Vegas pushing.
Well,
he had one tip over
because he was in a points chase.
I'm just saying it's that easy to have one little mistake.
Yeah, but Cooper Webb is no AC, all right? And look, King Cyclops, our jersey winner, says to race your own race. Hey, did you get your jersey, King Cyclops? I mailed that out personally on Monday, so I hope you've got it here.
I'm saying if you're up at that race, I need you to run down and take the pit board and start waving it.
Shelby says he pushes for the win. All right, 51 center punches number 2. I don't know about that.
Come on now.
Oh, gosh. Liberal logic. Where do you guys get these comments? Not time to cruise, says Mick DeShaw. Thank you.
Dude, I wouldn't want to live with that forever, knowing I was trying to make one pass and cost me the championship. I wouldn't do it.
All right, last 5 finishes for Cooper Webb. 1-6-3-1-1. Holy crap. Look at his starts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you average a 4th place start, you're going to win.
This is how you win a championship.
Yep.
1-3-2-2-2-1. Okay. His qualifying doesn't really matter, man. It doesn't matter where Cooper Webb qualifies. He's going to come out and freaking podium at least.
Look at him. He's not fighting through the pack where mistakes and things happen. He's already up there. He's just got to keep it clean.
Look, has 7 wins in 15 rounds this season. His average finish on the year is 2.67.
That's crazy.
That could be one of the best seasons we've seen in I don't know how long.
Maybe since Villapoto.
Probably.
Or that 1 year Dungey won.
I don't know if Villapoto had that good of a starting average, but that is ridiculous. Or finishing average. That's ridiculous. That, my friends, is unbeatable.
Yeah, he's only had 1 bad round.
Yeah.
Took 1st or 2nd in 6 of the 7 Salt Lake City rounds last season.
Oh, gosh.
And led laps in 5 of those 7 rounds. So he does well here.
Oh, look at Kevin Kruger brought up a good point. He said he's going to be aggressive. He's going to push just because it's Webb. What if Webb just wants to rub it in Kenny's face in the final round?
I'm sure he does.
Wrapped it up, and I'm still going to beat you.
I'm just saying, as if I'm putting myself in the team manager's spot here, what I would be telling him. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I'd be telling him. So just needs 37 points over the last 2 rounds to lock it down. Basically, just needs to average 4th.
All right. Well, let's talk about Ken Roczen
Kenny
here.
Can do if he does.
Hey, Chase, real quick, just to answer your question from earlier. Check this out.
What was my question? Oh,
King Cyclops.
Oh,
King Cyclops. Nice. There it is on the Discord.
Did he turn it into a meme?
He did. I can't
remember. What does it say?
When you're bad at fantasy but good at memes.
That's a good way to look at it.
That is good. By the way,
that's a sweet bike.
The meme submissions were so freaking good last week.
Oh, dude,
we're gonna do it again.
We're gonna meme treasure trove in there.
We're gonna post. We'll try and go grab it. Maybe Josh can grab it because you guys can't see what he's doing. But we've got a signed Adam Cincerillo Fox jersey that we want.
Jersey.
It is. We want to do it again. We want meme submissions on the Discord. We'll show you the link here in a little bit. But we want to see your guys' favorite memes, and we're going to give away a signed AC jersey for it. King Cyclops won the Barcia jersey. Just got to get on your meme game.
Some child actor won the Osborne one.
Yeah.
Giving away some sweet jerseys.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, look.
What do you have on Roczen? We going to get into that?
Let's do Ken Roczen. Ooh, thank you, Josh. All right. We'll do Ken Roczen, then we're going to call McAdoo.
Let's do it.
Check this out. This is an official race jersey. This isn't just some one-off. This is sublimated here.
Yeah, big thanks.
There it is.
Fox
AC number 9. Yes, thank you, Fox. Signed. That's it's huge. Legitimate when you've got the AMA Pro Racing little patch up here in the corner. That's what's given away.
Well, I'm more of a fan of dudes that are just like good dudes, and he's one of the most popular dudes like that. So that'd be a huge jersey to win.
Absolutely. All right. Well, look, let's do Roczen real quick, and then we'll get to McAdoo here. And if
Justin
you guys
loves AC XOXO.
That's true. And look, if you guys have questions for McAdoo, we have some that we're going to be asking him, but throw it out your questions, and if we can see what you guys are asking, we'd be more than happy to ask a couple questions for you. All right. Ken Roczen, last 5 finishes, 2-1, 9-2-3. That 1/9 place is killing him. But check this out. Remember earlier in the year when people were talking about Kenny Dean Wilson kind of getting in the way, and then he got docked for jumping that red flag or that cross or whatever it was? Yeah. That's what, 7 or 8 points?
We knew those points would be 7 huge by the end of the season.
Oh my gosh! What if he loses by 6 points or 8 points or something?
Don't say that.
Oh my gosh!
I definitely do not want that to happen.
All right. So, look, he's led 44 laps over the last 4 rounds, but he's only won one of those. That is not good. No, that's not how you win championships, when you give up leads. His average finish in Salt Lake City rounds last season was 4.57, and that's where we kind of saw that huge fall from Kenny. And hopefully we're not going to see that. But what do you think? He's finished exactly 1 spot ahead of where he's qualified in 4 of the last 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. So if you want to take some stats to help you pick for Kenny, look at his qualifying tomorrow.
He always has a good average start, but look at that. He only has 1 hole shot this season, where he's been getting 5 in both of the past 2 seasons.
That surprised me because I would have thought he had more than that this year.
Well, if you look at Ken Roczen and said by round 15, he has led laps in 7 of those 15 rounds.
And still not the points leader.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But that's Cooper Webb syndrome. That's what happens.
All right, so take that information, digest it, and hopefully that'll kind of help you pick for Ken this weekend. But let's do us all a big favor. It's dialing right now. We're getting Cameron McAdoo on the phone. Let's go.
All right, boys, prepare to be dazzled.
Hello?
Mr. McAdoo, how are we doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey, this is Chase. I'm here with Christian.
What's up?
And, hey, man, I appreciate you calling in, taking the time to do this. Our fans have been asking about it all week long because we posted earlier saying you're going to be calling in. And so we were talking about it earlier. First of all, how's the body? How are you healing up? How are things going right now?
Yeah, things are going upwards for sure. Obviously, haven't been riding or anything this week. Just been doing a crazy amount of therapy, honestly, just to get my groin back good, and I beat up one of my shoulders a little bit, but honestly, I didn't really have any actual injuries, you'll call it. I guess it was I partially tore my groin, which was probably the biggest struggle and has been. But
people don't know how much that hurts when you're trying to squeeze a bike when you have a groin like that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was pretty painful, but I mean, it wasn't anything that I felt that was not safe for me to ride with. So
yeah, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely getting better though, and we'll be for sure good to go for Salt Lake.
So, I mean, here's a question: out of the Atlanta 2 race crash versus the Atlanta 3 qualifying crash, which one sucked more? Which one hurt the most initially when it happened?
depends on what you're talking about. If it hurting my pride, it would be the Atlanta 3 one for sure.
Okay.
But no, I mean the Atlanta 2 one was a big one. That one was pretty bad. That hurt. But honestly, the Atlanta 3 practice crash was it just kind of aggravated what I had already been dealing with. Like I had already been dealing with my groin.
Right.
And what happened when I cased it, it pushed on it, and like when I went out the triple, it pulled my leg up on the side and it pulled my groin back. Like I was back to square one, basically, is what it felt like. So that was frustrating. It was mostly I was just frustrated because I had already set. I mean, I had a third fastest qualifying on the board. Like I was just fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I had hit that quad multiple times, just fine. I was riding really well, I felt like, and just that one, you know, I came up short on it, and it like got my weight weird, and I had no saving it, and I was frustrated with myself. You know, it was 20 seconds left to practice. Like hindsight 2020, you're like, man, why did I even try going for another lap?
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, well, that's what you are. You're a racer. You're probably just always trying to improve it. So, yeah, obviously you couldn't write up a worse 2 weekends of racing for you. Everybody knows that. But I was kind of curious, and we were talking about this, because you have people right now who are like saying, oh, like you weren't mentally or physically, you shouldn't have been on the track, which I think is garbage. I think if you and the team can come to a decision that you are able to, and the AMA says yes, you should be out there. And if any other rider or team had somebody in your position where the points lead is that close, they're going to be out there racing. So I don't see any credibility in that. But what is that conversation like with you and the team, especially after your practice crash? Was that a consideration? Like you almost didn't line up for the night show, or was it as long as you were cleared, you're going?
Yeah, no, I mean, for myself, it wasn't a consideration. And touching on like what you're saying, you know, honestly, that's, everyone is obviously, I guess, entitled to their opinion, and it's pretty easy to make that decision whether my body's healthy or whether I'm safe to be on the track or whatnot from your couch watching it on the TV, right?
Exactly.
Like, and it's pretty easy to decide what physical condition I'm in by watching me race a race. And you know, a couple things went the wrong way in the main event, call it, and you know, if I don't jump 6 inches wide in the first start and clip that tough block and cause a crash, which, you know, I did, that happen, and it was a super big bummer, especially because, you know, Chris Close got pretty hurt from it, and luckily he was okay. But, you know, just for instance, if I don't jump, you know, 6 inches wide or, you know, run out of track space with Styles, and then if I don't have, you know, a couple guys come together and pretty much stop in the whoops, like almost crashing, and then run into the back of them, then maybe I get, you know, a good result that night and don't have a couple instances in that main event and everyone's singing your praises.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
No, I get it. I hate to make this comparison, but it's almost like you probably kind of felt like a Vince Freeze where it's like, can I please just not be involved?
Well, then the run-in with Marchbanks, and it was just...
Yeah, it's just... But, yeah, like
I said...
Yeah,
I mean, and not so much that. Like, I don't play the victim, really. And when, you know, obviously you see a lot of things and all that, but it's really just, it's pretty irrelevant. Like, I knew what condition my body was in. I mean, I've crashed on Supercross tracks at 100%, and, you know, whatever. We've gone through all the things. You know, my team was very, like, questioning, you know, are you okay? Are you good to ride? You know, and I was like, yeah, as far as I know, I'm good. Like, and that's why you guys, I'm sure if you paid attention, you watched my heat race. Like, I went out there because it was the first time getting back on the bike after the crash, and I was just checking myself. You know what I mean? I got 7th in my heat race. Like, I just went out there and made sure that all my stuff was good, because trust me, I mean, my life to me is way more important than my life is to any of the people that think that I'm putting myself in danger. So, you know, like, if I feel like I'm putting myself in danger by going and racing, I'm not going to do that. Like, my life's very important to me. But at the same time, you know, like, obviously I think, you know, in my career, you know, there's maybe 30, 40% of the time where you have something nagging that doesn't feel good.
Welcome
all
to
the
dirt
time
bikers.
when you're racing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Well, I like the way you handled it. I like how he puts no blame on anyone else. And there's those few people always that are going to just be against everything. But what I've seen even in this chat and everywhere I've seen, it's probably gained you so many more fans than you even realize, for showing that type of toughness and stuff like that. So,
yeah. And I'm not like out there asking for anyone's praises because of what happened. Like, in my opinion, it was just, I was doing my job. Like after the crash, the red flag happened and I was like, I'm still capable of doing my job. So I'm going to get back up and go do it. Like I didn't do it to have some heroic effort or anything like that. That's just what I do. And that was the way I did it. But, and it's being, at the top of any sport, you're going to have, negativity, just as like the deal with March strength. Obviously, I wasn't stoked on that. Like, I was pretty bummed out that pretty much, took me out of the title hunt in a sense. Like, not completely, but pretty much, yeah. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to go, say this, that, and the other thing to him about him. I've made decisions on the track that I'm not proud of too. Like, it's not, I'm not going to hold a grudge to him. And for people going out there and saying some of the stuff that they've said to him, even on some of my, like, stuff on social media, I I'm like, man, why the negativity? Like, I mean, I guess if you're a fan of the sport and you say that you wish that one of the 20 guys that races each night to entertain you guys is injured, you wish negative like that upon them. That's not fair.
Right.
And that's not cool to me.
I agree. I don't think people realize how fast things are happening.
Oh, yeah.
These are like split-second decisions right after one another for 20 minutes straight.
And I'm sure, and look, I'm not defending March Banks or you or anything in this situation, but I guarantee you that you and every other rider has had moments where you're probably looking at another rider thinking, I would like to tee you up right now, But
totally, 100%. And like, I've seen, he thought I cross-jumped, whatever. Like, he definitely was not happy about something, and he was like, I'm taking this guy out, whatever, right? But like, we've all been there, and it's, at the end of the day, like, you just got to kind of, take it on the chin and go forward with it. Like, I'm not, I'm not gonna. It sucks that kind of my 10 days in Atlanta was highlighted around crashes and whatnot, because that's been something I've been really focused on and working on this whole year is my consistency. And we've done a great job of it. I mean, obviously up until Atlanta, like, I learned a lot there. This is my first time that I've been, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you said you learned a lot. So hindsight's 2020. What is it if looking back now, you're thinking, okay, like this year Atlanta kind of derailed everything, but obviously you've probably already got your mind on next year's Supercross season. What have you learned, going back the last few weeks or maybe the whole season that you feel is going to make you better and a stronger title contender for next year? Yeah, I mean, this, like I said, like, this is the first time I've even really been in a title talk or as a title contender, and I mean, I wanted to win the title as bad as anyone, right? But you win the titles on your bad nights, and that, like, I proved that to myself, because I've been on the podium every race but two. So, I got 6 podiums of 8, but the other 2 races is a 10th place box score and a 13th. Yeah, and when you're and just like that, you got less races. So it's tough. Exactly, and those 2 nights, if I go back, and obviously as a racer, you go back on what happened one night, like the race in Texas, I was in a great position to have another good podium result. Mm-hmm. But I maybe rushed it a little bit much, and I hit tough blocks, and then I ended up getting back on the track too quick, got docked, one thing after another. So I'm like, dang, I could have gotten I was in position to get whatever it might have been in my mind, which would have been a good result. And then same with the other night, after the restart, I was in a good position to be back on the podium again. And then
in my mind, that's, what I chalk it up to. And then a couple things happened that, I did wrong, and I got 13th that night. So those are the things that I've learned, but I have been pretty happy with I've had a lot of good rides. My heat races have been good. Like, I've got a lot that I learned this year, positive and, negative. So, obviously I'm not going to chalk my season up on what happened in Atlanta. And that's obviously probably going to be a highlight reel for a while. Maybe after
forever.
Maybe after everyone goes racing tomorrow night and something cool and crazy happens for the East Coast guys. Maybe, it'll chill out a little bit. And
yeah. Well, look,
I like what Jason's saying here. His crashes are going to make great Supercross versus soccer videos. Well, look, I've seen MVPs in other sports get carried off the court for leg cramps.
Yeah.
Now to have a crash like that and come back and get a podium, handle it like this, like I'm saying, I was always a fan. A lot of people are a fan, but you got to have respect for that and knowledge. That was like one of the most legendary rides maybe ever. To even come back and do that. So well,
and looking at the comments right now, Cameron, like everyone just has so much respect for you. Everyone's saying you're the man. Like props to you for doing it. A lot of people saying how mature you are, which I'm sure is awesome too. And no, man, it's good to see you're healthy, but glad to see your whole view on it. And I'm sure next year, I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to take that experience. Probably talking with Nick Way a lot and use that to be a title contender for next year.
Yeah, totally.
And so what we were wondering too, want to ask you one quick question about the 450s for these last two rounds. And then we want to know just real quickly a little bit more about Cameron McAdoo. So you've got Cooper Webb and Ken Roczen right now, 16-point gap. This is to help the fantasy players out there. Do you think Cooper Webb, if Ken Roczen is, say, 1 or 2 positions ahead of Webb, does Webb do everything he can to try and increase his points gap this weekend? Or does he just play it safe the last 2 rounds and it's not about winning or beating Kenny? What do you think?
Are you picking him more in the first, second range or third, fourth, fifth?
So are you saying if Kenny starts first and Webb starts fourth, does Webb get fourth, or does he do his best to get up to the lead?
Well, yeah. Does
Is
Webb
that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah. Does Webb make that extra push to beat Kenny this weekend to increase his points lead? But if Kenny's first and say Webb's second, does Webb make that push to beat Kenny, or does he say, all right, I'll eat 3 points and I'll still have a 13-point cushion? If I'm Cooper Webb, I'm thinking I want as big of a points lead as I can get as possible going into that final round. What do you think?
I think that he doesn't make an extra push, but as everyone's watched Cooper Webb, he's a racer. Like, he's a gamer, and I think he's gonna be Cooper Webb. He's gonna do whatever he can to be his best that night, and if that is beating Kenny or if that's finishing behind Kenny, that's what it is. But I don't think he's gonna hold back. No, I don't think so. And
that's what I needed to know.
I think exactly. I think if he has the opportunity, he's gonna try it. But there's a chance that Kenny shows up, his best self and goes and wins. Like, they're both so good, like, right now, and they're both riding so well that, you can. I mean, Webb was good last year in Salt Lake, and Kenny's had some phenomenal rides this year. Like, it's tough, and but I don't think that Webb holds back. Not yet, no. I think when you start almost doing that a little bit too much, like, I get it that he's got somewhat of a cushion, but you ride differently, like, we as racers, I think we train and we ride, like, to a certain level of as hard as we can, like, always. And that's why we're, at the top level of our sport. So then if you start knock it down to 80%, like, that's when, like, maybe things can even go wrong. Right. So I think he plays it like he does any other round.
Okay.
What I would guess.
Good. I'm just listening to this over here. I'm chilling.
Does he give the double shooter if he passes Roczen again on the last lap?
Oh, my gosh, the mental games. Well, Cameron, I was just thinking about this just now. You're obviously going to come back into 250s next year. I don't know how long you plan to race 250s or, if you point out or whatever, but if I'm a 250 guy right now, like, say anyone that wins this title, you've got to be looking at the 450 class thinking, holy crap, that is like, you know what I mean? Like the I don't know, the intimidation, it seems like, going to the 450 class where guys like Eli Tomac, who were so dominant before, are now just kind of one of the guys. It's got to be gnarly to be like, holy crap, like that's what I'm going to when I'm done on 250s.
Yeah, I like to strive for it. I want to be the best I can be, when I'm ready to move up to that class. And I don't want to think of that class as, holy crap, this guy, that guy. Because you can think about that on the 250 class too, And
it's true.
And even in my time in the 250 class, I've raced against some of the top contenders.
Right.
In the 450 class now, I raced Adam his last year. I raced Dylan the last 2 years. So and by no means am I discrediting the 450 class, but I don't, I want to be as ready as I can be to go fight, because that's my goal. My goal is to go fight in the front of the 450 class. Like that's my main goal as a racer. So,
right on.
I want to get myself to a form within the next few years when it's time to go be, a top contender in that class. And, on the way there, I need to, finish some stuff in the 250 class first.
There you go. All right. So last question, Cameron, before we let you go here, don't want to take up too much of your time. Give the people watching, give them a little bit more insight about Cameron McAdoo. Give us, what do you love to do when you're not racing dirt bikes? And if you weren't racing dirt bikes, what would you be doing? What would be another career path for you?
What do I love to do when I'm not racing? Honestly, as a racer, like when you're not racing, I like to hang out and chill. Maybe go down to like Newport or something with my girlfriend and get a nice dinner. But outside of that, fishing, I love to fish. I'm from Iowa, so fishing, I used to hunt growing up. I don't do a lot of that anymore just because it takes up a lot of our time. But yeah, honestly, just lay low, and I'm not into golf, and that seems like the main hobby that everyone as racers does, and I'm not into it. So yeah, I'm more of like a chill around guy.
All right.
Outdoorsman.
If you weren't racing dirt bikes for a living, growing up, kind of what was a career path that you saw for yourself?
I guess I started thinking about racing as a career path, like realistically, when I was probably 16 or 17. And because I went to high school and stuff, and it was never really going to be a thing for us. It was just a hobby. But I didn't really have career paths. My school pushed me really hard to be an engineer. I did college level engineer classes in high school, and it seemed unfortunate at the time that I was really smart and was able to do engineering because I hated it. So I would almost say that, but I don't think so, just because I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like the class, and I didn't enjoy it. But I'm really not sure. Maybe like, real estate or something where I can make my schedule and I can, however hard you work is how much money you make and your earning potential. That's something intriguing to me. Like, that's the way racing is, right? Like, how much money do you want to make? How good do you want to be? It's how hard you're going to work. And like a job that has a base salary for me is a tough one. So I think something that the harder I work, the better I do.
You know what? I wish you would go teach that mentality to the new generations growing up. If you work hard, you'll be successful.
Hey, somebody did suggest an outdoor fishing show with Malcolm Stewart. I would watch that.
That would be cool. Well, look, Cameron.
That would be fun.
We appreciate you calling in, man. We're glad to see, one, that you're not injured. Mm-hmm. You're going to be at the last Salt Lake round, I'm assuming. And
yep.
Thank you so much for taking the time to call in.
It's nothing but respect.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of riders wouldn't have even lined back up, let alone did what you did. So. And
the ones question it would do the exact same thing in your position.
Exactly.
So can't say
totally.
that. All right, man. Well, hey, good luck with everything. Get ready for outdoors. I don't know, I know you're going to be a title contender in outdoors. I'm sure that's the goal. Is anything less than championship is not what the goal is. So.
And you got the Cameron McAdoo train gaining steam right now.
It is. So. I like it.
Yep. Just getting rolling.
All right, Cameron. Well, hey, man, we appreciate it, and good luck with everything, and we'll see you soon in Salt Lake.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye.
It's a good dude.
He just gained more fans in the chat here.
I'm just saying, it's impossible to not be a fan of that guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So that was good.
I hope he does
His
well.
answers were very sincere, and I agreed with what he said.
Seemed like a down to earth dude. Like I said, other MVPs of other sports been carried off the court for leg cramps. I'm just saying.
They just need to. Did you see that meme about soccer players versus motocross or something? Oh gosh. Anyway,
Alicia in the chat, she mentioned something about like what did his girlfriend think about his crash.
Oh, dude, that was rough.
Can you imagine him having to go off the track and talk to his mom and his girlfriend after Atlanta?
I know.
3?
Or imagine being the mom and trying to just stay out of it.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm married and have kids.
Yeah.
When one person freaks out, it kind of forces the other one to focus in. And the mom probably would have been freaking out, but the girlfriend was freaking out, so she had to console her, and it was kind of a weird situation to put on TV like that.
Brian B says it was a great interview, but let's be honest, the Dan interview will always be number one.
Dude, that was legendary.
Oh my gosh. All right, well look, we are going to have to bust through some of these spoilers real quick, and then most importantly the wild card. So real quick.
Well, it's going to be
fortunately
easy.
for 7th place wild card. It's kind of like spoilers and wild card are one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's meshed.
Well, let's just talk about who you think. Not so much spoilers, but right now, Christian, give me some of your top picks for the wild card.
Wild card?
Yeah, 7th place. Malcolm Stewart to me, I think, is a good one.
Right now, my first pick is Marvin. I mean, do we want to go over Marvin? Let's see what we have.
Let's do it.
He has
back it up.
Good reasons for that.
Okay.
I mean, his last 4 finishes are 22, 7, 7, 9. Last 4 starts, 10, 7, 4, 10. So that shows me he started kind of on both ends and still ends up around there.
Okay. But he's got 7th out. Okay.
11, 14, 9, 11. Has taken 7th in 2 of the last 3 rounds and 3 times this season. So he's right around there right now.
All right. Jason Anderson, if you go off of his finishes, he's kind of – I feel like Anderson's better. Look, put it up right now. We got the poll. Who's going to be your wild card? It is 7th place. Jason Anderson, last 5 finishes. He's gone
I think he's better than 7th.
7, 5, 4, 3, 14.
He's your guy right now for wild card.
No, I think he's better than 7th.
Okay.
I'm just saying, based off the numbers, maybe, but I think he's better than. Look at his qualifying, though.
He started 19th and took 7th.
He's been the top qualifier the last 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
And I think he still wants to really win a race.
I think he still
very
wants
badly
to make up some points. So.
All right. Well,
but he hasn't led laps since round 8 of last season. He's got to do well.
Okay.
Even with this elevation sickness, he does well in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, he did well last year.
Was in the top 5 in 5 of the 7 rounds in Salt Lake last season. Led 15 laps in the final round before he lost his seat, like we mentioned before. So his best start this season is 6th. You got to get better than that.
Now I'm looking at Dylon. Dylan Ferrandis over here.
He's my second pick.
His last 5 finishes, what? 8, 7, 5, 11, 7. That's there, man.
Yeah, I'm going Marv's my first pick. Dylan's my second.
And, yeah, his Ferrandis is qualifying right around there, too. He's been 8, 9, 11, 7, 8 on qualifying. So if Ferrandis qualifies somewhere in that 8th to 10th range, he might be a shoo-in for a wild card spot.
Well, look at him. He's only started 9th he's started worse than 9th in 4 out of the last 5 rounds.
Yeah, but he's taken between 6th and 8th 6 times this season.
I'm comfortable with saying he'll move up even with a bad start.
Right.
So what is he? Taken 7th in 2 of the last 4 rounds. Has only made the top 5 2 times this season. Jeez. So he probably has the most amount of passes of all riders this
I thought,
season.
too, like even his qualifying, he hasn't even been in the top 3 qualifying in the last 5 rounds. Yeah. So I expected more out of him. Well, Chase Sexton.
I think he's more of a top 5 dude.
He's a top 5 guy. I don't even.
Spoiler.
No, look at his finishes. Other than his 2 bad races where he went down, he's 5:21, 2:10. No, that's really good.
It is weird to me. He started 8th and went to 10th last round. Something had to happen that we didn't see.
Probably.
I mean, he's only started worse than 6th in 2 of the main events he's been in this season.
Yeah.
So, and for what it's worth, he won 3 of the 5 rounds in Salt Lake City last season in the 250 class.
Look at that pole. Malcolm Stewart's taken over. Joey Savacci might be a good one. His best finish is 7th so far this year at round 10. He's finished in 8th 4 times and in 2 of the last 4 rounds.
What kills me is his averages on the year. His start is 10.6, finish is 11.1.
Yeah, that's not very good.
I think he's a longer shot. I definitely want him up there.
Yeah. But
he's a longer shot. Who else do we got? Did we talk about Malcolm?
No, we did not.
Spoiler.
And he's winning the poll right now. Let's talk about him.
Spoiler or wild card?
Wild card. He's not as good as he was earlier in the year.
Well,
earlier in the year, we were saying he's a top 5 guy.
5 rounds at least.
No, he hasn't.
And he's taken 7th in 2 of the last 5 rounds. So look at his season averages. 6.8 qualifying, 6th best. Start 8th, finish 9th.
Yeah.
So his finish is actually worse than his start. It's weird.
So, I mean, I don't even know if he's been riding good these last few rounds. If you want to put Malcolm for 7th place, it would not. I think it's fine. Some riders statistically might make a little bit more sense, but I think he fits well right into that category. Dean Wilson might be another one who's taken 8th as his best finish this year. So a 7th might be asking a little bit much. He's gone between 8th and 10th, 6 in the last 6 rounds.
He's had that fire, though, since that one night he didn't make the main. So
yeah, he has. But again, if your best on the year is an 8th and you're asking to get better than that, just out of nowhere, I don't know. Maybe if you want to take a risk, I don't know. I
think he's risky.
Look at that. Malcolm Stewart, though. He's winning the wild card watch poll.
Where's Marv?
Marv is he's got
2 votes, 11% of the votes.
Yeah, it's not going to do
I
it.
think I'm going with Marv.
But it will be Barcia. Couple of
did
DNFs.
we even cover Barcia? Come on now.
What about Barcia? You think Barcia was top 5 last round? In my top 5?
Yeah.
Look
at his finishes last 5. 4-4, 10, 4-5. That tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm putting him in 4th place.
Okay. All right. There it is. That's a wild card watch. What do you guys think? Malcolm Stewart, he's winning that. Justin Barcia, he's a top 5 guy. Christian, were you getting flack the last few weeks about locking him in late, or people saying let's lock him in with quotations?
It's hard
in the
to
meme?
lock him in
That was
without
one of my
seeing
favorites,
qualifying.
by the way.
Do it for Dale. Woo!
And until you look at the weekly prize winners, and they seem to have no problem doing it.
All right. Well, do you want to lock him in real quick? Do it now and then get to prizes here?
We can do it. I haven't locked him in on the site, so it would be live.
Are you, same here. I'm changing up right now. You want to see my picks? I'm taking a risk. Are you ready?
Let's see it.
I'm going to go Eli Tomac just because it's Salt Lake. He likes it here. I'm going to take a little risk there. I'm going to go Eli Tomac. Then I'm going to go Cooper Webb. Then I'm going to go Ken Roczen. Let me find him here in the drop down. There you are, Ken. And then 4th place, I'm going Jason Anderson. 5th place, Justin Barcia. And then my wild card is going to be Malcolm Stewart. That's what I got. What do you got?
Striving and thriving.
But I'm going to look at qualifying.
I am too.
Okay.
I'm going back to Sexton. I mean, you've been getting solid starts.
Forgot about him.
Solid
Gosh,
starts.
dang it.
I'm picking Sexton to win.
To win.
I'm going Eli Tomac 2nd, Ken Roczen 3rd, Justin Barcia 4th, and Cooper Webb 5th with Marvin as my wild card. Because I'm still on the camp of Coop. Just take it easy.
Okay.
Just take it easy.
All right. I'm on the camp of Coop beats Kenny.
It's all in the hips. Just bring that thing home safely.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, there they are. They're locked in. What do you guys think? Who's got better picks, Christian or I? I want to hear it. Barcia for president. Chase's picks. Tomac, you like that?
Steve picks Eli to win every round. I love it.
That's what I'm talking about. Did you see that meme about Tomac? Where it was
I
like
saw a lot of memes
the
about
Tomac players telling Eli to just hang it up or whatever. Or I can't remember. It was like something about Lord of the Rings. You guys should check it out on the Discord.
About saying he has a chance to win the championship.
Yeah.
He won't give up.
And the fans are like, no. I love it.
No AP in the top 5. I don't like it, but like I said too,
Chase, look at that. My picks are just destroying it right now.
Well, there's more good riders than there are good spots. So. Hips don't lie. Jeff Brown's on my side.
Okay. Well, look, let's talk about it here. Discord, checking out those memes. We'll talk about that. But there it is. Link in the description.
Tomac for vice president. That's interesting.
Well, who would be president? Barcia? All right.
Hey, they want our points too. I'm at 474. It's horrible. I blame Anderson for that penalty last week.
Hold on. Let me see my previous picks and points.
I'm bad this year. It's been a bad year.
I am at 624. So
what do you do?
Nothing. Just brag about it. All right. Grand prizes. Let's talk about it. Last 2 final rounds are coming up. Like we said earlier in the show, there's only 5 points separating the top 5 and just over 50 in the top 50. That's insane. And here's what's up for grabs. If I was in that top 50, I'd be sweating it right now. You've got a KTM 450 SXF Factory Edition up for grabs, a KTM 250 SX. We've got Dunlop MX33 tires for a year, $2,500 gift spree to Rocky Mountain ATVMC.
That's awesome.
Alpine Stars is in there with a casual spending spree. We got Megabyte tires from Tusk and a wheel kit. Milestone Video Game Supercross 4K the game or for the game with the TV and console. Fly Racing gear package, STACYC stability cycle and accessories, and Motion Pro tool prize pack.
Okay.
Those are grand prizes.
Before we get into the weeklies, do we have the picture from the winner, past winner? I love it when people comment saying, no one even wins these prizes. Well, Tony Sanchez took himself home a nice VFX Evo.
Yeah.
So
there it is.
Don't tell me you can't win.
Proof is in the pudding right there.
Yep. So this week, even big or huge prizes. First place is going to get a Cylinder Works standard bore cylinder kit. Get that bike rebuilt.
All right.
Second place, MSR gear set. Always looking fly on that. Third place, Moto 9 MIPS helmet. Then other stuff from Moto Stuff, Bridgestone Battlecross tires, Cycra Spending Spree, Fox Casual Spending Spree, LS2 helmet, Fly Racing, Hydro Pack, Extra Biter, and Off-Road Pack. It's nice. And then a Cherby Spending Spree, and like always, $10 Rocky Mountain ATVMC gift cards.
Ooh, look at that. King Cyclops is tied with me in points, says I'm going down. Far Vader's having a good year. Wait a minute. Hold on here. Did I just read that correctly? Thomas Eberhardt says his collective points of the last 3 races are 35. I don't know how you do that.
Well, that's why fantasy's awesome, because you're going to drop 2 of those.
Do you blindfold yourself when you make your picks? I'm just joking.
You're going to drop those points. And then remember also, your picks are for 450 class only.
Even like right now, dude, I'm struggling a little bit.
Ruby Xfinity's having a good year. Well, look, hope you guys enjoyed it. Cameron McAdoo, that was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
We want to hear your comments, too, even if you're watching this video after the fact. Who would you like to see call into the show? We want to hear your suggestions because we want to reach out to these people ahead of time, and, we want to see who would have some good input. But anyway, link is in the description of this video. Remember that. That's where the Discord is.
When are you picking the winner?
Who?
After this round? So what?
Oh, for the jersey? So start with the memes immediately, and then we're going to pick a winner. We'll announce the winner in next Friday's show.
Okay.
That good?
Sounds good.
Okay,
so there's a lot of new memes that came in between last round and this round. So are we counting those ones in? Or
sure, why not?
New submissions?
Any of the ones after the last contest ended until next Friday.
Fair enough. But you have a full week to come up with your best memes. Keep them clean. Keep them classy.
My kids are beating Christian, he says. My kids are beating me, too.
But anyway, get your best memes in there. We want to pick a winner. We're excited to see him. Go to the Discord. And as always, go to RMFantasySX.com to sign up if you have not yet. I don't know why you wouldn't have by now, but free to play. Make your top 5 picks. Pick the wild card. And have a blast watching Monster Energy Supercross. Anything else we left out, Christian?
Nope. It's looking good.
All right. We love it. I am Chase.
I'm Christian.
We'll see you next week.